Hello everyone, Russell Wright from NetworkEmpireThemeZoom.com, and I want to create a special video for Project X members and OMG members, of course, and we're going to be talking about the last keyword tool, and this is going to be an incredibly efficient and simple use of one of the most powerful tools on the planet when it comes to keyword research, specifically because we use natural language processing, LSI, and all that fancy schmancy stuff. I'm with Sue Bell, CEO Sue Bell from Network Empire and ThemeZoom. She invented these tools with me for the last few years and the rest of our team, and there's no better person to show you how to quickly and efficiently extract data that you can't really extract anywhere else. So we're going to drill into the site theme. We're going to get top-level themes from the website suggested by the silo filter that Sue's going to show you. We're going to drill into each silo, and we're going to find the low-hanging fruit for articles in the silo. That's the golden niches. And then we're going to turn the Google ORV column, which we'll talk all about what that is, and see how valuable it is. We're also going to look at not so low-hanging fruit. That is highly relevant. So thank you very much, Sue, for doing this. I think this will benefit everybody inside Project X.
Well, thank you, Russell. Yeah, so I just want to get into it because, you know, when I'm ready to do a website, like, I just want the keywords, right? Like,
absolutely.
No fluff, no muss.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so today I thought we might look at a site about acoustic guitars, right?
Okay.
And so I went ahead and pre-drilled these so that we didn't have to wait on the video. We've got this, this drill about acoustic guitars. And as you can see, it brings back, it brought back like 231 keywords, right? So the question is always, how do you sort through the 231 keywords to find the stuff you're really looking for?
Right.
So if my site's about acoustic guitars.
Tell me a little bit, just to be clear, this keyword tool, so you typed in the word acoustic guitar and it brought back the most powerful LSI and Bayes keywords around that term, acoustic guitar?
Yeah, so it goes out and it scrapes the top competitors on Google and Yahoo for acoustic guitar, grabs all those keywords, and it doesn't really filter them or anything. It just brings back the whole list for you to decide what you want to do with it.
Okay.
So then the question is, how do we decide which keywords we want? So we've got, in our shortcuts area here, we've got the things that you're really going to need, right? So the first thing you're going to look for probably are suggested silos because you want the themes for your website. And so this is really good. I'm also going to turn Larry on just so that we can see exactly how relevant these keywords are.
Let me get this straight first before you slide past this, okay? This is pretty advanced stuff you're showing. So can you go back to the shortcuts?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So what you're saying is that I can extract out of this massive list the best silos around the term?
Yeah.
Holy mackerel. Okay. So all I have to do is set the filter, and then I get the silos that could best be used.
Yeah, so it's going to bring back everything that we consider to be a theme, and some of those themes are going to be quite tangent, which is why it's also good to turn on Larry just to get a feel for how tangent they are. Now, obviously, you know, it's acoustic guitars, so we're going to be able to look at this and tell some things are tangent and not so tangent. But if you're in a market that you're not so familiar with, then Larry can be quite helpful to kind of give you a heads up as to whether or not you want to use it on your site.
And what is Larry?
Larry is a relevance indicator. And if you're siloing a site, then you know it doesn't really matter how relevant one silo is to another. But when you get within a silo, then you're more interested in how relevant your articles are to each other or to the parent term.
Okay.
But if you're doing a microsite, which I know a lot of guys in OMG are, they're kind of like one theme kind of site. So they're looking for themes on their site that are pretty close to each other.
Okay.
So this can be quite helpful. All right.
Gotcha.
So so we're looking at acoustic guitar, and this is going to Larry goes from 0 to 100. The closer to 100 it is, the more relevant it is. So obviously acoustic guitars and used acoustic guitars are going to be more relevant than, say, the things at the bottom of the list like Wurlitzer, right, which are organs and things like that. So,
yeah, pianos.
Some other instruments down here, yeah, banjos and all that.
Oh, interesting. So would you say that the Larry on the Wurlitzer was 34? We know it's not a guitar. It's a piano, essentially, or organ. So that 34 indicates, based off of 100, it's that much lower than 100 in terms of perfection. So it's less,
Yeah,
it's
so
less
it's
relevant.
quite tangent.
Right, very tangent. Okay, so the lower the number,
Yeah.
the more tangent it is when it comes to Larry.
Exactly.
Okay.
But you can see as you get up here, you've got pickups, basses, Fender guitars. So as you start to get into the 50s and above, this starts to get quite a bit more tangent.
Gotcha. Okay.
So, okay, so these are going to be, so themes are main topics. So they're not going to be too nichey. So you might want to keep an eye on the numbers of competing pages over here to make sure that that's in the ballpark of whatever it is that you're wanting to rank for. So if you've got your site set at like, you know, no more than 1,000,000 pages, then something like Gibson guitars is going to run more your style, right, rather than, say, electric guitars.
Gotcha.
But we're talking about acoustic guitars, so let's look for some topics that are more acoustic guitar related. And I saw running around here someplace there were guitar lessons, which kind of caught my eye, right? It's a pretty decent term, $5 a click, lots of searches, pretty decent Larry.
That's a lot of information. I mean, you can actually get the pay-per-click and then the regular searches.
Yep.
Wow, that's pretty cool. And click, so you can get pay-per-click and regular searches side by side.
Yep. Clicks per day. So this has got quite a bit of, I mean, especially when you compare it to other keywords in this niche, this has actually got a lot of paid traffic.
Oh, wait.
So that means...
Wait, you've got the broad competing pages as well as the phrase competing pages side by side? Oh, that's really cool. Okay.
Yeah, so you can see that this is going to be a reasonably decent keyword, and because I took the time to suss it out a little bit earlier, I went ahead and drilled into it so we didn't have to wait.
Sure.
So, so I'm going to look down this list. I'm going to find the ideas that I want to be my silo themes or the main themes in my website, and I'm going to pick those, and I'm going to want to drill into each one of these keywords again so that I can get good keywords underneath it, right?
Gotcha.
Some articles underneath it.
So just to slow you down just a little bit because you're kind of a super brain, all the teaching of silos and stuff that Greg and Mike teach in OMG, that can be, so when you're saying silo in this filter thing, like literally these would be the right silos to use in the Greg Morrison method or Jimmy Kelly method or what we're talking about. So these silos apply. This is a great, and then if I want to go into the deeper articles, you're just saying drill again to get into find most relevant articles, and I can use Larry to find articles that would be useful.
Exactly.
Okay,
so like,
I'm following.
Like I can grab learn guitar, I can come up here, I can create a new project, I can drop learn guitar in there, queue up the project, and in a couple of minutes it'll be drilled and ready to rock and roll. Understood.
Okay.
Okay.
Am I supposed to do something with that pretty graph, or?
Oh, you can. This is it's actually just an indicator.
Okay.
The greener it is, the more keywords in here that are easier to rank for. The more red you see on the screen, the more you might want to go find another theme.
Okay, can you hover over the red a little bit? I'm just trying to, so it's on the word guitar. Does that mean, should I be watching that, or is that just kind of extra?
Well, it's kind of extra, but it means the guitar is probably a pretty steep keyword.
Because it's a top-level theme, really.
Yeah, guitar lessons, how to play the guitar. These are easier keywords to rank for.
Okay, so that box up there on the right, you kind of, as you hover across, you're seeing what the number of competing pages plus the amount of money in the market, or?
Yeah, this is going to be it's going to be the cost per click times searches per day.
Okay.
So it gives you an idea of the value of the keyword.
Very interesting. So if I ever drilled into something and I saw mostly red, the suggestion is, hey, this is more difficult than normal. You might want to go a little more niche-y. That's great. That's great for OMGers to know because it just does the thinking for them. If there's too much red, they can decide.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you can see musical instruments is something that's, and when you're looking at 319 million pages, like that is quite competitive.
It is. And what's also cool about this for me is like I could hover across the top on the left in that green patch there, on the green, and if the silos that I were interested in or something in there were in there, that would be easy for me to just decide to pick something in the green.
Now I have to say it's all relative. Okay, so it's like it's easier. It's not necessarily what everybody would consider easy.
Right, but it's not in the red compared to the whole set. The red is the hardest and probably avoidable in comparison to everything else.
Correct.
Okay, well that makes sense. And then, of course, they can follow the other Network Empire lessons and all the other stuff that you and I teach to make sure that they don't go ridiculously off the grid on competition and stuff.
Exactly.
Okay, very cool. Just wanted to look at that stuff too.
Sure. All right, so back on guitar lessons, if we take a look at our shortcuts again, we can go for the golden niches. And I think while we're looking at golden niches, let's also take a look at the Google ORV.
When would I use golden niches, though? I don't really get that.
Okay, so I'm here in one of my silos on my site, right? My site's about acoustic guitars.
Yeah.
And I've decided that my site's acoustic guitars, I've decided one of my silos is going to be guitar lessons.
Got it.
And so I'm going to look first for low-hanging fruit as an article underneath guitar lessons just to kind of see what's here.
Got it.
Right? So, because if I can find low-hanging fruit, why should I go for something harder?
So golden niches are ideal articles?
Yeah, they're where we look at the competition, the competing pages, times the cost per click, or divided by the cost per click, so that you get like a ratio of, it's a KEI kind of ratio for those who have been around.
It's kind of interesting how some of those are like local destinations.
Yeah, I thought it was really fascinating how it
There must be some rocking going on in Columbus.
In Columbus, right? Mm-hmm. So now, the thing that's interesting is you've got one of these. Let's just sort by Google ORV because then the good stuff floats to the top, right? You've got Guitar Lessons Columbus, Ohio, which has got a cost per click of $9.91, but it doesn't really have any searches. So the reason it doesn't, I mean, Google is always estimating, right? And usually anything with a locale in it is going to have much fewer traffic, much smaller amount of traffic than the national versions. And if you're in Columbus, Ohio, and you're actually looking for guitar lessons, then I can imagine that people who are squatting on that term are probably making pretty good conversions. I find it really interesting that the number of clicks per day actually exceeds the number of searches per day. That just gives you an idea of how Google's numbers aren't as accurate as they could be.
Yeah.
But
that's a diplomatic way of saying it.
Exactly. All right. So,
well, what happens? Like, there's really only 4 words that came back from the niche filter.
Right.
So there's more than 4 articles for guitar lessons, obviously. But these are the optimal ones on the list.
Well, these are your low-hanging fruit. So
right.
All this means is that there's not a lot of low-hanging fruit here, right? If I come back here to acoustic guitar and I look for low-hanging fruits, we might find a whole bunch more.
Got it. But we wouldn't put those in that article. We'd necessarily.
Right.
They'd have to be.
No, probably not.
Right.
Because these are going to be low-hanging fruit for acoustic guitar.
Got it.
As opposed to low-hanging fruit for guitar lessons.
Right. So we'd have to find, if that wasn't enough articles, we'd have to find another way to get articles.
Exactly, and we will.
Because we could drill into guitar lessons completely as a different topic. Oh, we're already on guitar lessons. Yeah, so it's all there. Gotcha.
Right.
Okay.
So one of these keywords is children's guitar lessons.
That's a good one.
Is a great keyword.
Yeah.
And
it's a whole different market, according to Matt. You know, our client who deals in guitars.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so that's a pretty good article.
Yeah, and you can see that the phrase match competing pages is really pretty low.
Yeah.
And so, you know, that's a great article to have. If that meets your niche, meets the requirements for your website, then that's a great article. So obviously we're going to want more than just that. So instead of just going with golden niches, let's look at highly relevant keywords. So this is going to be a little bit more broad.
Oh, okay. So it's relevant without concern for low-hanging.
Exactly.
Oh, okay. So there's plenty of more articles going on in here.
Yeah. So you've got like how to play the guitar.
Holy smokes!
You've got lots of different ways to say how to play the guitar. You've got
plenty of stuff to do some domain authority stacking and everything.
Beginner guitar, yeah, exactly. We can do all kinds of damage with stuff in here.
Yeah, that's nice. Gotcha.
Guitar
for beginners, that's a good one.
Yep.
Since we've actually dabbled in this market a little bit, we kind of know it. And it's bringing back really good keywords for the market, actually.
It is.
Yeah.
All right. So
very cool.
That's what I would do. So
can I repeat back to you what I think I heard you say?
Yeah.
Okay, so you started us out thinking big with the top level theme, and that was guitar lessons?
Yep.
Was it? Okay.
It was acoustic guitar. Actually.
Acoustic guitar. So they're going to drill into their first thing. Like obviously if I have an acoustic guitar website, first I do that, and then I apply the filter.
Yep.
Whoops.
I'm just going to clear the filter so we've got all of our keywords.
Okay, so that was step 1. The second step is what? Now I got to find the silos. So within that chunk of guitarness, which is acoustic guitar, I'm going to slice the best silos. So I'm going to apply the suggested silos filter.
Correct.
Okay. And that's going to set, I just do that in the simple shortcuts area. And it's going to bring back a lot for me to choose from. And we teach in our Tech Foundation course in our stackable theme to persuasion or persuasion architecture how to make that congruent with what you're selling, right? So probably they would pick the things that's most helpful in terms of what, like if they're selling Martin guitars, obviously this is awesome because there's a Martin guitar silo, right?
Exactly.
Okay, so they would put that there. And anything else like, you know, electric guitars and whatever. So you choose your silos, and again, we do have extra training that gets into that a little bit, but then this is everything you really need to decide a silo. And then I can go deeper into the silos like acoustic guitar. Let's look at like guitar lessons, which you did. And then in guitar lessons, you can go deeper, and you can first search for low-hanging fruit by clicking the golden niches, and that brings the absolute stuff you probably should put on there.
Right.
Yeah, because it's low-hanging fruit. And then you can go highly relevant. Okay, that's the line. I'm sorry, I'm going too fast. Yep, that's the line. Then you go highly relevant if you just don't have enough articles, or maybe even you just want to look and see what other related articles that go inside that silo.
Exactly.
So what you've kind of done is just, I mean, it's not as perfect as Kraken's Automagic Blueprint system and the other Kraken, but I mean, in terms of hands-free, but literally for a lower cost than Kraken, you can kind of hack the silo structure together.
Exactly.
Okay. I think that's pretty much what Mike and Dave wanted us to show everybody, because I know that Mike was pretty blown when he saw what this thing could do. His mind was blown.
Mm-hmm.
And now this will help you guys looking at different keywords. Oh, by the way, all these keywords export into spreadsheets, so you know, you can export them.
Export function right there.
Yep. And of course, we automate a lot of this in the more advanced software programs, but you can take your time and learn on this. The LARI algorithm, the LSI algorithm are pretty advanced. It's one of the only tools, actually, currently it's the only tool that I know of that adds those relevancy factors. So that's really, really exciting. And also we wanted to show you that there's so much more to show you, but we're going to skip it in this video because I think this is enough to get them started.
I think so.
Those of you who have downloaded from the OMG and the Project X webinars the video silo plugin, it's inside the OMG and the Project X area. Just go ahead and grab that, purchase that plugin. It's at the OMG price, and you can just apply what Sue just showed you here, the silo filter. You can literally copy and paste your keyword into the silo filter in the video silo plugin and manually build those silos just like that.
Exactly.
So really, really, like literally you can have a silo site together that is structured by the best with Sue's brain and Kelly and Matt and everybody else and mine together, like actually in a ridiculous amount of time, what used to take hours. So put that together in there. Obviously, the OMG and Project X guys, if you go to on the left, we do have that TOKT offer still available for you to look at, and it's actually omgmachines.com/Zoom. You can also see it's online-business-in-a-box.com. I actually built that page specifically for Mike and OMG. You can go right there or to omgmachines.com/Zoom and get your coupon code discount. I don't know how long this will be up, but just if you have a problem, just contact Mike or us for the OMG, and we'll make sure that you have what it is that you need. Okay. So we're also going to make some other videos for you guys on Kraken. I believe Sue and I are going to cover Painfinder as well because they asked us to do so. So you can expect a couple more videos. And I think that's it. You have anything else to add to that, Sue?
I think that covers everything for tonight.
All right. I really appreciate you taking your time out, Sue, from all the high enterprise level development stuff, and it is 4 in the morning or something. So
it's my pleasure, Russell. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, OMG. And we want to provide a special thanks to David Mills and Mike Long for all the amazing customers and experiences that you brought us as we worked together over the last several months to bring website silo architecture to the masses. And we'd like to encourage you to look at other products and be sure to ask Mike and Dave what available offers that we have for you, because this is just one of many products that we offer to OMG as a special. Thank you guys, and we'll see you on the next video.